What's happening? I can see the universe. Aww.
Clara, it really is you. I was so certain I'd never see you again. You didn't wake up.
I woke up. I've been wandering lost ever since, trying to find out what's going on.
How are you feeling? Do you remember me?
I have no memories of you, or of myself, but I found some notes lying around. I can only assume you're the one called Belladonna?
I am Belladonna, murdered and reanimated by Dr. von Trauerschloss. At first a mindless mechanical doll, but I slowly regained control over my brain. And when the time was right, I broke free.
I saw the doctor's body.
Yes, I crushed his skull. Standing over his blood-soaked remains, I was free at last.
But where did I come from? If he was dead, was it you who brought me back?
Yes, my love. You were the only thing on my mind as I stood there, alone and victorious. I had secretly watched the doctor's process, and I desperately wanted to believe that I could get you back. I unearthed your grave and carried your dead body down to the laboratory. I did everything right, to the smallest detail, but you didn't wake up. And my time was running out. I can't turn my own key, and now that I was alone in the castle, I knew my life force would run out quickly. But for all my effort, you remained dead, and with no one to keep me vital, I eventually sat down here and just stopped.
But I did wake up.
Yes, apparently you did. Your body had been in the ground for quite some time. Perhaps that made the reanimation process slower, but with your key powering your brain directly, you did not have to go through the drawn-out, sluggish wake-up. I take it your cognitive powers and language have been with you from the start.
Well, yes.
Excellent. Then I have even improved on the doctor's method, but I doubt independent thinking and free will was ever in his interest to reproduce.
Do you think you could do it again?
Create more of us, you mean?
Oh
Yes,
my.
I hold the secret of life and death, and I plan to use it. The experimentations must continue.
And the two of us will have no place in this world.
Quite right. So, we'll make us a place. Dead bodies will never be in short supply. We'll make more of our kind, a whole new race of the damned.
Where do we start?
I know for a fact that there's a fresh body lying out there in the Great Hall.
The doctor.
His flesh, at least. We won't be using his wretched brain.
The
We've
cat!
already
The cat!
destroyed it in
The
many
cat!
ways.
The cat!
But the body will do. We will have to find a few other ingredients. Will you help me?
Sure.
Of course I will.
Thank you, my love. I'll carry the body down to the laboratory and start with the preparations, and in the meantime you can help me with a few other things. The doctor's brain is completely destroyed. I made sure of that. I don't think any of us want his villainous brain back amongst us. We're going to need to find a new one. Secondly, we will also need some clockwork parts. We have to manufacture a force to keep the dead body going. Thirdly, not only the brain, but also the head and the cranium were damaged. If we can find a new head, that would save a lot of the reconstructing effort.
The
I
brain.
saw a brain preserved in alcohol down in the laboratory.
Oh, you did? That's good. That, my dear, is the brain of baby Lucas.
Okay, I'll try to get my hands on the brain.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clockwork.
Clockwork?
Yes, we need something to supply the body with the force to move.
Well, that's the...
We can't make the heart beat
grandfather
again,
clock.
so we use the spring-loaded clockwork. In the future, we'll have to think of a source of parts more reliable than salvaging old-time pieces.
Okay.
I see.
Thank you.
A head?
Will we need to find a fresh human head?
Yes, I've smashed up the head of Wolfram rather frivolously. I'm afraid it's beyond rescue. I was thinking of my grandmother, Francesca Canosa. I'm sure you've seen her portrait in the study. She was buried some time ago, but her cranium should be sufficiently preserved. She rests in the mausoleum in the cemetery outside, but there is a hidden way into the tomb behind the armor in the basement.
Oh.
Your grandmother. Will it not cause problems to attach a woman's head to a man's body?
No, I don't see how it would make any difference in this new race of ours. We do not even reproduce sexually, so not even that significance is relevant.
Makes sense.
I'll go take a look behind the suit of armor.
Thank you.
Some things have been puzzling me.
Did I used to have hair? That's the most important
Did I
thing.
used to have hair?
You had beautiful hair. Unfortunately, I had to shave it all off in order to operate on your head and open your cranium.
You are not bald.
You're not bald.
I was revivified directly after my death, when my body was still fresh. You, my dear, had been in the ground for quite some time. I had to reconstruct large parts of your decomposed corpse.
That explains the metal construction holding together my skull.
I have my fair share of screws and bolts myself, but they are carefully hidden. I opted to sacrifice your pretty hair so that I could work more on preserving your brain. Something the good doctor did not do for me. I'm here.
What is this I'm wearing?
I'm so sorry about that. I covered you in scraps and bandages I found in the laboratory. I had to cut open and discard most of what you were buried in order to stitch you up. I want you to know that my plan was to be right next to you when you woke up, to help you understand and to find a proper dress. I'm so sorry it didn't come to pass like that.
Well, it doesn't really matter there.
On my way in here, I killed a cat. It was in my way and it felt so natural to just dispose of it. It worries me a bit.
How so?
I may have a functional brain, but what about a soul? Shouldn't there be something in me stopping me from hurting others? Or at least making me feel bad about it?
You're right. It did come very natural for me to murder my husband. But I'm not too worried about this. I have no desire to commit unnecessary killings, and I do have control over my actions.
So you're just in the grey area. What if you're raising
What if you're raising an army of cold-hearted mass murderers?
They won't be mass murderers any more than you and I. And besides, why should we prioritize the lives of the living above the lives of the dead? I'm here.
Is there anything else? Yeah, that
Why did you put this wind-up mechanism in my head? Yours is in your back.
Yes, the damned doctor had placed my wind-up mechanism in my back. It goes straight into my chest and heart, giving me a strong central of power. But it is placed outside my own reach.
So, you can't turn it yourself?
No, I can't. I have to depend on others. That's why I chose to put the key in the back of your head, well within reach of your own hands. I know what it means to not be in control of your own existence, and I will never put someone else in the situation I'm in.
Thank you.
Of course.
I'm
here.
Alright. Yeah, that was all of it.
I'll start looking for the objects then.
Thank you. Come talk to me if there's something you're unsure about.
No, I think we got all that down, my dear. Is there just anything else here? Let's look at the window.
At least the view is nice from up here.
Alright.
That's a big wardrobe. I bet you could...
Alright, let's just go ahead and start getting stuff. Why did we discard our long stick, by the way? We could get the brain with that, but I don't know where we have discarded the stick. Unless we can just take the ladder with us.
Thaw the milk, grind the...
No, of course not. Why would we take the ladder with us?
A stuffed raven atop a bust of Pallas Athena.
Alright, to the hall. And let's get the clock mechanisms out of there. I think we can use a screwdriver for that.
I see a lot of mechanical parts in there. I need to get them out somehow.
Well, hold on. Oh, I had accidentally pressed that.
This faithful screwdriver will do the trick. Time to turn this old clock into a slightly peculiar wardrobe.
There we go. That's the one piece we need. Alright, I doubt there's anything there, but I bet we have to go there at some point. The next was a head. And that's in the area of... over there.
A big and heavy candlestick.
Yeah, we can't use that. I still don't know why we are keeping the candlestick, but whatever. I think I know how to get that, but I can't click that. Yes. My idea is to somehow winch the thing up if we can't move it by ourselves. I don't see it. Come on, love. There we go. You cat murderer.
Belladonna was right. There is a secret switch behind Roland the Poet.
Alright, I guess we used a rope for this.
That makes no sense.
Okay. Fuck you too then, but Claire.
It's too dark down there. I won't see my hands in front of me unless I light the crypt up first.
Yes, we have a lantern.
I can't just drop the lantern into the hole.
Okay.
It's gonna break when it hits the bottom.
If there is a bottom, yes, I know.
I'll just tie this rope to the lantern.
There we
Yes, I can lower the lantern into the hole.
go. Into the secret entrance.
Amazing. I
It
must be
is.
directly underneath the mausoleum and the cemetery.
Ooh, look, there's a note. Journal page. Very old.
I can't believe it. It's another letter. How did it end up down here?
Very good question. After insistent probing from my lady Belladonna, I took to the pen come evening. The scribbling does not come as readily for me as it does for her, yet I do most tenderly see the appeal in the activity. So much has happened in my life of late, my brain is overflowing with joy and secrets and disorder. And if I manage to write down a map of but a fraction of it all, that would be an enormous relief. Verily it all centres around Belladonna, this queen regent of the castle, who has turned her benevolent face towards me, and thus filled my person with happiness I had previously thought unimaginable. I still remember the first time I saw her standing next to her husband, when I took up work in the household, and I remember how she seemed to glow. The two of them lost a child shortly after that, and the tragedy will linger in the castle for a long time. All the other servants, yeah, we know. I found myself unable to postpone my departure with each new day. I found myself dancing around Belladonna's flame, drawn to it as strong as I had been from that first glance. I'm doing my own voice because I'm playing as Belladonna Claire, so might as well. By the time she finally recovered from her melancholy, I was the only one left in the castle. And it was at this time the miracle happened. Belladonna saw me in a new way. This tempestuous affair, galloping and world-shaking, yet so quiet, so hidden. The castle is ours to rule as we please, but only as long as we do not arouse the suspicion of the grave-robbing goblin in the basement. It is as if I have stepped into one of the fairy stories my grandmother used to tell. But Nana's stories always ended up with someone losing their head or being eaten alive. Though seemingly everlasting, this bliss of ours, a seed of doubt is growing in my heart. Belladonna is married after all, and who am I to break their wedlock? Theirs is not a happy union, true, but I am seducing my love to break her vows and soil her soul, and what wretched ruin will that bring upon us? For a long while Belladonna was all I dreamed about, my queen and goddess, and my deepest wish for her to let me into her life and let me worship her. I thought I would give up anything for that, but now that I'm here, I wonder if I have sacrificed too much. Belladonna comes from high society, and she doesn't realize just how much she takes for granted. It is still clear who is the lady and who is the servant. Can I keep living like this, or will I have to do the unthinkable and leave her? I made Belladonna promise not to read anything I wrote, and looking at what I have just put down in ink, put in ink, the weight of that promise is clear. I have forged in the words thoughts that I did not know I had, and it's vital that these pages remain secluded from prying eyes. Secrets upon secrets, I shall hide this letter inside the old armory in the basement, whom I call Ronald the Bard, where I doubt anyone will find it. I'm descending into that dungeon as soon as I'm done here. and I'll hide this note on my way, as the master has asked me to fetch for him a certain plant from the greenhouse. It's strange as this whole situation is, I must still obey his requests, if only to keep up appearances. Okay, so we have all the notes. Angel statue, a crying one.
Another angel. Are you the third sibling?
It's
what
covered.
Did you get put down here? Is your name Gwendolyn?
She has her eyes covered. She has her fucking eyes covered. Don't blink. Whatever you don't blink.
Francisca's coffin, but the lid is much too heavy for me to lift. Maybe I could break it open, but I'll need some sort of big hammer or mace for that.
Is this some mace?
The things one does for love.
Oh, yeah.
You look very peaceful, but I do so need your head. How shall I remove it?
With a saw.
Some surgical tool from the laboratory, perhaps?
Yes, I can. I understand that.
Now to carefully remove the head. It's remarkably well preserved.
Hello. I'm a zombie head. It looked much better when it was attached.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. Exit.
Looks like Belladonna has dragged the body down to the laboratory already.
Makes sense. Alright, and so how do we get the head?
I can't tell if my reflection in the glass is too distorted or if I really look like this. Am I even a human being?
Good question.
The body of a deranged murderer, the decomposed head of an old lady, the brain of a small child. How could this possibly go wrong?
Oh. We didn't even need to do anything. Alright, we have all the items we need then. That was rather easy.
Welcome to the Lab of Horrors.
I have Francisca's head.
Well done. Just give it to me and I will attach it to the neck.
I took some parts from the old clock.
Well done. Let me put them into the creation.
I have the brain.
Well done. Please give it to me.
I found something else in the crypt. Another note. One I'd written myself when I was alive. I think we need to talk.
What is the matter, dear?
It's just... forget it. It doesn't matter. Let's focus on what we're doing here.
Sure.
Yes, let's get this creation moving.
Yes.
I'll get going.
Here is your brain.
Thank you, dear.
And the head.
Thank you, dear.
And the clockwork.
Thank you, dear. The creation is complete.
Yes.
All we need to do now is force life into these dead limbs. That big switch on the wall initiates the procedure. Will you have the honor, my dear?
Of course, my love.
Gladly.
Let's bring it to life.
Time has come. I've wanted to pull this thing since the first time I saw it.
That's true. And what happens now?
It's alive.
Yay, we at least brought the cat back to life. That makes me feel a little bit better about the game. Okay, so we created an army of horrors. Oh, lovely. Well, we had a very big cemetery to work with. So that was the game, everyone. I wonder if there's any end credits or anything. I don't know. But I will talk about it a little bit while on the screen. I enjoyed it. The story was nice and fun. Do you have some little weird spikes on your head, my love? That's a little odd, but whatever. Yeah, it was fun. A little bit simple. Not as hardcore as the old point and clicks. But it was still enjoyable. If you know any friends if If you know any friends who haven't seen these videos and you know they love point and clicks, then maybe you want to get them as a Christmas gift or a birthday present to them. I'm not sure if you yourself want to play through this because you have viewed it here. But anyway, thank you for watching if you have. Do subscribe to my channel for more gaming content, let's plays, first impressions, other maybe stuff. I'll catch you next time. This was Belladonna. Have a good night.